I would like to start with a presentation on what the center has done over the past year and what we will be doing for the coming year. The US-Asia Technology Management Center started as the US-Japan Technology Management Center back in 1932. We started in the electrical engineering department at Stanford, funded by a US government grant with matching funds from industry. We were doing education, research, and public outreach back then related to advanced technology management in Japan as well as in the US. We gradually shifted our focus from information about new technology to the processes that lead to new technology and new business, namely innovation. And we expanded to Asia and officially became the US-Asia Technology Management Center in 2000. Our funding since then has been almost all from industry sources. And in 2017, we received university permission to become a membership-based industry affiliates program. At that time, we moved from the electrical engineering department over here to Stanford Global Studies, specifically under the umbrella of the Center for East Asian Studies. This means that our funding comes almost all from the annual fees and additional research support from our member companies. We also do some seminars for outside groups, and we charge for those so that our member companies are not indirectly funding other companies to receive special benefits. Our external funds cover all of our costs, including salaries and operations, and we actually provide a little bit of funding back into Stanford for infrastructure support and into the Center for East Asian Studies. Our research follows into three areas. We're looking at the impact of new technologies on industry value chains. We look at open innovation management, especially large firm and startup company relationships. We also look at company internal relationships, how ideas can move to the market through the firm. And we look at regional innovation like Silicon Valley. We provide knowledge exchange and other benefits for companies. We develop and sponsor classes for Stanford students, and we organize a lot of public programs to benefit the entire Silicon Valley community. Right now, we have 16 member companies, of which 14 are from Japan. One is from Korea, and one is from China. We also have two new member companies currently in process. They have signed the agreement to commit to become a member, and we're waiting to get the Stanford signature. We have 4 currently active companies who have our agreement, and we're expecting to receive their signed agreement anytime within the next few weeks. So we're attracting a lot of attention. I can point out that we do almost no marketing except the public programs that we're involved with. It's mostly word of mouth. So the knowledge exchange is at the heart of a center like the US-Asia Center. Some of our knowledge exchange is targeted toward member companies, especially regular meetings, sharing of information by email and by website. We visit member companies. We have a lot of Stanford visits by member companies, and we give them preferential inclusion in our public programs as well. For the Stanford community, we're developing university courses, and in where we used to live in engineering, there was a big difference between a regular course and a seminar course. A seminar course typically has guest speakers and may be more interdisciplinary than a regular university course. Our seminars have a lot of industry speakers, and we also have mixed audiences that include both university participants as well as the Silicon Valley business community. We've always had public outreach as an important charter function. We produce some big programs along with other organizations in the Valley, and we're high profile in a number of speaking engagements in other places. So this is our example of what kind of programs we've done with focus on our companies. We've had about five meetings since our last annual meeting, including the last annual meeting. You see that we've had people from the Graduate School of Business. We've had people from bioengineering and also the Stanford Robotics Center, which is a new center uh, that is interdisciplinary between mechanical engineering, computer science, aeronautics, and astronautics, and probably two or three other departments. And we've had external speakers on occasion to our programs as well. Now, this is actually fewer member meetings than we used to do. We've had a very active program where individual member companies are asking us to give presentations to delegations either of their executives or on occasion their customers. I'm, of course, meeting with our visiting scholars very regularly, on average about two or three times a month. Um, we have a lot of travel back in our schedule, and so I'm visiting member companies on most of my trips outside the US. I visited 10 of our 16 member companies since September of last year. So this is kind of what's going on with the member companies. With the courses, our seminar courses, we have one in the fall and one in the spring. The fall course is on some topic in international technology management, and it is listed in three different departments at Stanford. This shows you how interdisciplinary it is. We're in the middle or near the end of our spring quarter seminar series on entrepreneurship in Asian high-tech industries. And I teach a regular university course every winter quarter. This year, I have taught the course on Japanese business culture and systems. So this is the program that we had for our seminars last fall, where our specific topic was innovation in supply chains and manufacturing in Asia. So you see that we have speakers from most of the major Asia economies. We had Japan, Hong Kong, Korea, Taiwan, we had India, we had um, well, Hitachi America and also American Honda Motors. So we try to get a variety of industries as well as a variety of Asia regions focused in these seminars. This spring, our series has likewise been very interdisciplinary. We started out with, after I give an overview of entrepreneurship in Asia, we had a panel discussion of the emergence of deep tech in India. Then we had a specific company from Tokyo come in and talk about agentive AI. And Earl, an old contact who is executive member of the National Innovation Council of the Philippines, spoke on the startup ecosystem of the Philippines. Then we had Singapore, Hong Kong, and just yesterday, a very interesting presentation on India by Dr. Kapoor, who's going to talk to us a little bit more today. And we finish up our series next week with Benny Luo, who is coming up from Los Angeles. He has a very large platform with billions of views about kind of the Asia community. So it will be very interesting to hear him talk about how entrepreneurship is influencing Asia, not the other way around, how Asia is kind of constraining or influencing entrepreneurship. This is a page on our course about Japanese business culture. It's a regular course. We have a couple of special features. Every year we do a panel on women in Japanese business where I get out of the way. As usual, Kimberly was our moderator this year, and we had several either visiting scholars or former visiting scholars who came and presented about the situation for women in Japanese business. We also have an alumni panel. Students who took the course in previous years show up. We had about 7 people on our alumni panel this year. 4 from Japan and 3 who came to the room and actually talked with the students. This is great for really understanding how university education fits into the bigger picture. Um, we, in this course, have students divide up into teams and develop plans to take a company, typically a US startup company, into the Japan market. And they prepare pitch presentations, and we ask people from the Japanese business community to come and listen to the pitches and give them comments. I'm also happy that all of our listeners, all of our panelists this time were either current or former visiting scholars with our program. Um, Thanks to everybody for making this coursework. So the seminars are open to the public. We do quite a few large programs with other organizations. The Innovation Awards will happen again this coming July, Thursday, July 17. It's a one-day program. Please watch our website to participate. About 350 people will gather at the auditorium to see companies from Japan whose innovations we think will be interesting for Silicon Valley. This is in cooperation with the Japan Society of Northern California, but I've chaired the steering committee for the Innovation Awards for more than 10 years. We are doing a Philippine AI Summit on June the 20th, and hopefully this will be a half-day program, I think. We're still kind of working with our partners on this one. And as I mentioned, we do a lot of presentations at Stanford and in public conferences. We host a lot of visits to Stanford, and I give a lot of presentations elsewhere. So what's happening? This is where we switch and really look at what we need to see ahead. So this is the context of what 25, 26 is going to look like. Probably the biggest key word is uncertainty. Uncertainty due to geopolitical tension, due to rising anti-globalism, due to trade wars, or at least tariff wars, due to rapid disruptions from incredibly fast technology development, and due to climate change. All of those call for new kinds of strategic leadership decisions. The next big thing going on this coming year is the continuing evolution of artificial intelligence. So Silicon Valley is at the leading edge of this. We're in a very good place to study this because agentive AI is already kind of an old word here. AI agents are kind of last year's hot thing. So will it go into artificial general intelligence, or will it go into special purpose programs? We have to see. The benefits and drawbacks, something has happened in industry structure. Basically, the big players have the dominant platforms now, so that it's very hard for a new startup company to achieve the funding necessary to have a competitive AI platform, AI model. The models are kind of owned by the big players, and that means that, as happened with the development of the iPhone, there's huge range of applications being developed because it's so much easier. There are places you can mount your applications easily. That's where we're seeing a lot of startup activity. We're also seeing an evolution of AI regulations and governance. There's concern about ethical AI. We want to pay attention to all of these. And the other main area of context is how supply chains and manufacturing are shifting. Will it come back to the US? Will Japan be able to rebuild its semiconductor industry? This kind of geographic reorganization comes with a couple of special points about critical materials, and also not just strategies for economic efficiency, but strategies for resilience in manufacturing and supply chains. So that's the big context. We look at innovation. So we're trying to see how all these things on the left are mapped to different patterns of innovation strategy and management, including ambidextrous innovation, where a large firm is trying to balance activities that build on its currently created value to brand new sources of value. We're looking at startup creation and scaling up. We're looking at open innovation relationships between large firms and startups. And we're looking at company internal dynamics of innovation. The other area is the innovation and entrepreneurship ecosystems, where we need to keep up with startup trends, new kinds of business models, VC investment patterns, what's happening in the labor force, automation and reskilling, and also exit patterns are all things that need to be understood in order to have good innovation capacity. So our plans are basically to keep doing what we've been doing in terms of the kinds of things we do. Um, this coming year, um, right now, my working title for our fall seminars is A Global View of AI in a time of rapid change and uncertainty. So we're going to try to do that. We're going to look at entrepreneurship in Asian high-tech industries again, and we'll probably repeat Japanese business culture and systems. We're exploring some new collaboration opportunities at Stanford. There are a number of Stanford organizations that interact heavily with industry, and we want to see if we can have closer partnerships where there is a real fit to our mission. And probably we'll stay about the same size as we were. We have new companies. I'm very proud that we have a low churn rate, but there are always companies that, in a time of uncertainty, can't continue external support. So I'm thinking that the new companies will probably be offset by losing a couple of more members, but hopefully we'll stay the same size. So that's our presentation. These slides will be available on our website.